detective himself, a lousy one who likes to get drunk and watch TV specials centered around his favorite pop star. Now, back to this movie. I guess after watching the 16th installment, I sort of came to a realization about the last half dozen films in the movie series. The quality is somewhere below an actual theatrical film and just a tick above a television special. And the resulting experience neither wows the audience nor does it disappoint, at least on the most basic level of entertainment. There's the typical mystery Conan Edogawa and company encounter. The story continues to play out with several clues strategically dropped along the way for the audience to sniff out. And when the second half of the movie kicks off, the pace does pick up. However, there is something noticeably lacking in key parts of the movie. Where's the real suspense? As I mentioned before, episodes or movies featuring the black organization always have suspense. This movie didn't feature them in any shape or fashion. Mind you, the danger that the threats in this movie pose are very real adult threats. In a family movie, a plot centered around a spy giving away hypersensitive intel on a US-funded sonar system doesn't sound like it would hold the interest of children. That is until you consider that the intended audience of children are Japanese. I'm not necessarily suggesting this film is too highbrow in its content for an American child to comprehend or enjoy, but there is a distinct patriotic flair underlying the entirety of the picture. In other words, Private Eye in the Distant Sea is a tribute to the Japanese Navy. In a franchise where many of the core characters are below the age of 20, many of them are mature beyond their years. Heck, Conan Edogawa and Hattori Heiji are two 17-year-old genius detectives. Ron Mori is highly proficient in karate, and even her pal Sonoko Suzuki is a teen anxious to become an adult. Why should that matter? Because when a movie starring a genius-level detective feels more like it was made for an older audience, there is an inevitable disconnect with a younger one. Audience, that is. Yes, there are a handful of children in this feature, but the movie often sweeps them to the side in favor of the more grown-up espionage and murder plot. The two kids integral to the entire picture are Conan and another little boy who has been kidnapped. And honestly, the less children on screen, the better. Most of the time, the kids would appear to unintentionally block Conan from where he needed to be, or they would wander into an area of the giant Navy vessel they had no business being. So, in other words, they were being kids, relegated to being nothing more than observers of the action, and then later to ramp up the emotional factor to get the audience to weep along with them. The movie itself was a solid experience, I'll bet one better suited for a 4-part episode run on the actual anime series itself. I liked getting to see Ron fighting to protect the little boy, and there were some choice scenes involving Heiji and his friend that is a girl of course, Kazuha. I won't spoil it, but fans of their past will get a decent return toward the end of the film. The series lead Conan Edogawa was in classic form, which was, may or may not be good news for fans of the franchise who would actually like to see him struggle to solve a case for once. I will say, for all intents and purposes, that the last 15 minutes of the film felt a bit tacked on and was easily the least believable of the film. I guess the power of love will always win the day, am I right? So, here's looking forward to the next regular film in the series, which should drop sometime next spring. But before then, we get to see our favorite little detective in a rematch with none other than Lupin III. My body is ready. Is yours. Otakast Radio has a tab where you can watch the trailers for both films, Private Eye on the Distant Sea, as well as Detective Conan vs. Lupin III, the sequel movie. And now the subbed edition of the Private Eye on the Distant Sea is floating around for, guys subbing as a part of anime. I don't really feel bad per se about watching it. I do feel bad about distributing it for money and downloading it off of the sites. So if it just happens to flow on YouTube and it's on YouTube and YouTube has not taken it down, shame on YouTube. I honestly don't feel that bad when I can catch it on YouTube. Which 90% of the stuff I watch is on YouTube. That's why I didn't say that you could catch Private Eye on a Distant Sea on YouTube, because it has been noticed and has been taken down as of this recording. I'm Desmond Childs, and this is Screen Visions Radio. Thank you guys for listening, and when we come back from the break, gonna wrap things up. SV Radio on Otacast Radio Network. Back in a sec.
From the blog out there in Dallas, Texas, it's Screen Visions Radio coming at ya.
Yes, we are coming to a close on this edition of the Screen Visions Movie Blog Podcast. I am Desmond Childs. Appreciate you guys for listening to the show. And you can find us on odacastradio.com and, of course, Podomatic. We are on there, as well as Wise Guy Jukebox and After Dark Radio. Now, I will tell you guys that the blogtalkradio.com/Odacast channel is having some difficulties with the tech at BTR. Now, we're trying to update the episodes to include all of the most recent episodes of Screen Visions, as well as After Dark and Wise Guy Jukebox, having some issues in terms of scheduling. For some reason, the scheduling mechanic on BTR is giving us some issues, so we're working on that for our BTR fans who also listen on Podomatic. And I got an email saying that it was malfunctioning on BTR, so I'm glad that someone out there has our back. I'm just kidding. I know all of you guys do, but we did get an email specifically addressing that issue, so we are working on it. And yeah, we will have more news on that as it, becomes available. We are on iTunes. Go to the iTunes Music Store, type in Screen Visions Movie Blog Podcast, and subscribe to us. I'd appreciate that. And again, you can send me your emails, questions, comments at odacastradio@gmail.com. All right, guys, signing off. I will catch you guys the next time. 2 more movie reviews, me and you. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, and Hanukkah. Catch you guys later. Goodbye.
Screen Divisions Radio and Nodacast Network affiliate. Games, movies, life. Hey kid, what inspires you?